Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Friday, November 29th. With high pressure remaining in place for at least the next week, got quiet and dry weather continuing as we head into early December. I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today. Again, high pressure remaining overhead, looking at an extended stretch of dry and quiet weather. What we've been seeing, look for that to continue with cold mornings with some patchy fog possible. Highs generally in those 30s and 40s each afternoon. No changes again are expected for at least a week. So we're going to have a Rex block set up across the west, which will lead to a pretty stagnant air mass in place. Temperatures will gradually warm as conditions remain dry. And the potential for a pattern change is looking more towards mid-December at this point. So I'll be kind of showing you some of those solutions heading out towards that time frame. And taking a quick look at satellite for you this morning, mostly clear skies out there across the west, just some areas of low clouds and fog, particularly across the upper Snake River Plain, some of the valleys up there, but mostly clear skies out there, just some passing mid and upper level clouds as some moisture works over top this ridge of high pressure. And taking a look at the bigger picture for you guys, so high pressure continues to drive in some very dry air in from the Pacific. A couple low pressure systems, one up to our north and another to our south. One up to our north is going to be the main driver for some cloud cover here over the next couple of days. Not expecting any precipitation out of this, but certainly some increased upper level clouds. Bigger picture wise, this high pressure will continue to drift slowly east here over the next several days, leading to gradually warming temperatures into next week as conditions remain dry, helping to block any real moisture from working into our area. And weather Scott look for your next 5 days. You guessed it, heading into early December. Not a whole lot to talk about here in Southeast Idaho. And 7-day precipitation forecast. As you can see, southern Idaho, we are lacking in terms of precipitation. Best chances will be up to our north as you get up into British Columbia, where the favorable moisture axis will shift again north of that ridge of high pressure. And also pretty impressive as well, while we're getting warmer and drier out west, a cooler and more active pattern, especially around the Great Lakes. Some pretty decent lake effect snow there over the next several days. And speaking of cold mornings, here's a look at those coldest temperatures we saw yesterday for Thanksgiving. So some of our colder mountain basins got down to the single and double digits below zero. Most everyone else, single digits, teens, and 20s. And take a look at the next 7 days for you. Overall, not a whole lot of change in the forecast. Looking at cold mornings, most folks are getting down to those single digits and teens. Warmest areas in the 20s. But overall afternoon highs still looking like they're going to be in the 30s, 40s, pushing to near the 50-degree mark, heading into mid and later parts of next week. And before I break down kind of these outlooks for you here over the next 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day period, let's just talk the upper level pattern. So overall, over the next several days, we're going to see that ridge of high pressure continue to shift in. Got the European model on our left, GFS on the right. That high pressure is going to continue to build in from the Pacific, leading to an extended period of very quiet and dry weather here in southern Idaho. But the bigger picture wise will be a low pressure system developing to the south. That's going to be what's called a Rex block, fairly well established blocking pattern that should keep most of any systems coming in from the Pacific guided well away from our region as the more active pattern shifts to being confined to the eastern United States. But as far as our conditions go, heading into middle of next week, no real changes there. High pressure still very much overhead. As you can see, that 540 line all the way up into Alaska. So very mild air mass building into the Pacific Northwest. Still getting cold mornings, but overall no big changes there even into late next week. We could see some potential moisture working up and over this ridge feature. Some light showers possible in the mountains looking towards late next week, but not until we really get into mid-December are we going to see a real break to that ridge block. As you can see, models begin to differ as we head into the far extended period, but this can at least give you an idea of when we might be able to see some change in that. So the biggest thing will be disrupting that Rex block. If we can get that low or high pressure to kind of disengage from where they currently are, that'll lead to a breakdown of the Rex block and hopefully bring in some more moisture into our area. Heading into even Wednesday, December 11th, looks like we are seeing a bigger changes, especially on the European on your left. GFS does keep us in that more zonal kind of southwest flow regime with high pressure, but heading into mid-December, looking like we will have some more chances for precipitation building in. Just the details are uncertain at this point. European does have a pretty aggressive trough over us towards mid-December, while the GFS keeps us in that more zonal flow pattern. And speaking of 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, so with that all said, above normal temperatures are expected as we head into that 6 to 10 day period heading into early December. And precipitation, again, moisture working up and over this ridge feature will help to lead to some wetter conditions possible to our north, but overall into Idaho and southern Idaho especially, not looking at any precipitation in that 6 to 10 day period outside of some isolated mountain showers towards late next week. 8 to 14, not a whole lot of change there. Above normal temperatures continue across the west, with a slight increase in that signal for some more near normal to above normal precipitation across the northern plains and Rockies, heading into that mid-December time frame. But overall, you can still see that influence of high pressure across the west, leading to that below normal favored precipitation. And that's about all I have for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome weekend and stay safe out there.